Well, hello. Welcome to the Let's Get Carried Away show with our good friend um, Malta Singh.
Hey,
Malta, how
Cappy.
are you doing, mate? You're okay? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm okay. It wasn't the result we wanted today, but again, I'll reiterate what I said at the start of the season. If you told me with 12 games to go, we just about be safe from relegation, I would have snapped your hand off.
It's funny that, isn't it? It's. Do you think that's because the fact like the bar's been risen and we thought like we're in the dizzy heights of the Premier League and all of a sudden it's not good enough where we're at. Think that's what it could be.
Do you know, I think Jacka has raised the bar and the expectation of the club single handedly,
Hmm.
right? On the way back home from the playoff final, I was like, I just hope we can stay up. I just hope we can stay up, right, and not do what every other promoted side do and just tank in the Premier League. And I was thinking, will we win a game away from home? Will we get tanked 5 and 6 against your Liverpools and your Arsenals and your Man Cities at home? And actually, none of that's happened. We had a really good start to the season. We've picked up a couple of great results away from home, being the win against Chelsea, the draw against Liverpool. If I look at it as the whole season, 2/3 of the season's gone by now, right? We've got 36 points. I'm very happy with the way that it's gone. Yes, it would have been nice to get a result today. How long have Fulham been in the Premier League? 10 years.
Up and down, haven't they? Bit of a yo-yo,
Hmm.
but yeah, they've got a lot of experience in that
Hmm.
squad and in the side. They're not a side to say it's an easy walkover. They're not like a Burnley or a Wolves. They're a difficult outfit.
No, you know what it is? They've got some very good players. They've got some technically gifted players. They've got players who can turn a game, right? Because that's what you need in the Premier League. They've also got players who can take their chances, because it's very important, like you take your chances, right? And they've also got a couple of shit houses as well, right? Um, their number seven, who scored 2 goals, right, should have been sent off. To be honest, the referee was very lenient with him. And then that Calvin Shirley Bassey as well, a very dirty player. Who was fouling Robbie, and then Robbie gave him a little bit back from what he'd been getting. Now, that penalty, based on that penalty, we should have probably had 8 to 10 penalties this season based on the foul against that Robbie did against Calvin Bassey.
Do you know, Malta? That really, really wound me up somewhat rotten. That I mean, when I seen it on the replay, and they've made such a huge effort to run to the big screen or run to the screen and have a look at VAR. When Talbot, Bobby against Liverpool nearly got the skin pulled off his back, it didn't even get reviewed. I
Mm.
mean, where's the consistency in VAR? That's what we're
There's,
after.
but you know what it
Consistency,
is?
and there isn't
There's
any.
no consistencies with referees, right? I mean, in the League One and in the Championship years, the referees were absolutely rubbish,
Yeah.
right? You know, out of 10, there were twos and threes. They were really, really bad, right? And we've came out of the Premier League, and there are some good referees in the Premier League. But what I've seen is that the referees in the Premier League, for them, it's all about, oh yeah, we'll let VAR make those big decisions, right? You know, but then VAR's inconsistent as well. VAR's really inconsistent. I mean, I'm a Celtic fan, so I see VAR being run by members of a certain lodge organisation in Scotland, right? And we don't have that in England. But what we do have is that just really bad refereeing, really bad VARing. Not everything's looked at so many times this season. It's like, why is VAR not looked at that? Why is VAR not looked at that? And I'm at the game, so I don't know, is VAR looking at it, right? You know, so you can't tell inside the stadium. and that's, I think, only the second time I've seen it actually come up on the big screen. VAR checking potential penalty against Brobby, and I think Kirill needs to get that mic fixed for the referee, because you couldn't really make out a word he was saying inside the stadium. I don't know if you could hear it on the telly.
It's often happened in a few other games as well, where the referee addresses the crowd, and it's like Norman Collier on the microphone. It's how with technology these days, I don't understand how it's so
Well,
bad.
the thing is, in American football, because I'm a big NFL fan.
Yeah.
They've had that for years. You can always hear audible. I've been to NFL games in America. I've been to NFL games at Wembley, and I've watched NFL for over 20 years, right? You've always been able to hear the referee holding number 34, offense, first down, dead clear, crystal clear, right? So under this, the fantastic, because technology always is getting better, and you kind of, I couldn't hear, didn't understand what he was saying, and it was just like, and then apparently he was offside. Is that right? He was offside.
I've heard bits and bobs of that. Now, the reason why they didn't blow for offside, because apparently there was a foul before the offside took place.
Or the foul was before the offside took place.
So, yeah. So if they're wound it back, now I don't know whether they said it was a different foul from the penalty. So if they went back a step from the penalty decision, there was then a foul, I think, on the Fulham player or something like that. It's I don't know. It's somewhat along the lines of that. Like, I mean, somebody I brought it up about how the hell did we not even get a penalty against Liverpool, and someone says, the referees admitted it.
Yeah. But PJ Monk came out afterwards and apologised.
I know.
Apologised. So are they going to give us a point back?
But they've got VAR though. I mean, how can the referee make an error when you've got VAR there? Why did the players not protest enough to say, "How I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this now"? Why isn't that happening?
That's the thing. Sunderland sides, since like our double relegation, we actually stopped complaining with referees. We stopped giving it the big one. We were in League One, and we were the scalp. For the 4 years we were in League One, we were the main scalp, right? Everybody was playing their cup final when they were playing us.
Yeah.
And the referees, obviously, for the EFL, there was like, we need to keep Sunderland in the EFL. League One got so much publicity globally, only because Sunderland were in it, right? And so the referees are thinking, oh, well, more people are watching League One because they're watching Sunderland matches. We had a sellout, an absolute sellout at home against Bradford City on Boxing Day, when there was no public transport or nothing, right? The day after Christmas, and we're still sold out in League One. What the hell is that all about? So we elevated the EFL. We were the biggest side in the EFL when we were in the Championship, and when we were in the League One. We were still getting the 10th biggest crowds in the country across the Premier League and the EFL. And it's just like the EFL, we were there. It's really given us a grounding now, right? It's brought the club back into, this is where you've been. And then this is what Xhaka and Labrie were talking. So I don't know if you saw Labrie's press conference. It was just, I believe Sunderland are in the top 10 of sides in the Premier League, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you think, Sunderland have won 6 league championships, right? Before new money was invested into Manchester City and into Chelsea, both of them were behind us in the league title numberings, right? There was only above us was Liverpool, obviously, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Aston Villa and Everton. That was it. They were the 5 clubs who had won more league titles in Sunderland. We've dropped down 2 places because Chelsea and Man City have had billions, not millions, not hundreds of millions, billions invested in them to deliver Premier League titles. So, do you know what? We're not going to go down, right? We'll just put it down to a bad day in the office. Obviously, when Xhaka came on, there was a big difference in the way that the team was playing. The atmosphere inside the stadium changed because Xhaka was on, right? But I do agree with Regis Liveries is that Xhaka had to go start on the bench because he was not fully fit. We've done it in the past too many times with too many players. We've rushed players back, and then they've been out for
Straight back off again.
straight back out for ages and ages, right? So this time, we brought Xhaka on. What do they call it? A phased return, right? Xhaka was brought on for 29 minutes, phased return, right? Because he got 20 minutes of normal time and then 9 minutes of injury time, right? But it's okay. These Fulham getting the double over us, right? The only other team who can get the double over us is Manchester United. If you told me again that potentially only one side will get the double over you, I would have laughed at you. I would have said, Cabby, you've been inhaling too much of those bloody exhaust fumes. Right? I think all we've got to do, we've just got to take it on the chin, right? And we can take it on the chin. You know what it is? This is the Premier League, right? You've got 20 clubs who can beat each other. That's already happened. Every club has been beaten by another club who's been beaten by another club who's been beaten by another club. The circle was already circled in October of everyone had been beaten by somebody who'd been beaten by somebody. Now, if you look at La Liga, Serie A, the French league, and the Dutch and the Portuguese league, that doesn't really happen. Right? That doesn't really happen. It's very rare that Bayern will get beat by, like, they might get beat by Dortmund once every couple of seasons, and they might get a freak result against Stuttgart or not 1860, but the other team in Germany who's owned by Red Bull, right? Leipzig, right? That might happen once every 3 or 4 seasons. If this is the most competitive league in the world, and even the sides at the bottom of the table have got and are spending millions of pounds on players. I mean, Wolves are bottom. What is Wolves' most expensive signing? I'm sure it's higher than Sunderland's probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't,
right?
I wouldn't be surprised at all if it is.
Right. And we've probably got the lowest or second lowest wage bill as well. It would only be us and maybe Burnley, right? Between the two. But I mean, you look at Burnley. Burnley signed 6-time Premier League winning champion from Manchester City because he wanted to stay in Manchester, right? Kyle Walker. So again, it's like, and if Kyle Walker can go to Burnley, and he must easily be on 200 grand a week, right? But Burnley know that Kyle Walker, he'll sell shirts. He'll give us a good chance of staying up. I'd have Kyle Walker. I tell you that. I'd have Kyle Walker, right? But if he fits into Gasolfi's plan, fair enough. If he doesn't, that's okay. I think we just need to reset. And there's something else I really want to talk about today, right? I've heard there's been a lot of racist abuse targeted at Romain Mundell for missing that opportunity, right?
Is that right?
And the club have even issued a statement as well. So if you want to bring that up on one of your other screens, Cabby, and read that out.
Is this from the Sunderland website itself, or
from SAF.com, right? And anybody, I mean, this is not the 70s and it's not the 80s anymore, where racism was prevalent amongst football fans. I know, because I've been going to the matches since the 80s, so I know what it's like, right? But I've not had a Sunderland fan call me any racist, derogatory word for well over 20 years, right?
Is this on this SunderlandFC.com website?
Yeah, if you go to SAF.com, it's while we've been on the chat, right? So yeah, I'll
because all I can see is Labree's key moments decided on defeat.
No. Right, okay, right. Club statement. I'll read it out.
Is this on Facebook?
No, this is on SAF.com. All right, okay. By Sunderland FC, 38 minutes ago. Sunderland FC is appalled by the vile online racist abuse directed at Romain Mundell following today's Premier League fixture against Fulham. The abhorrent behaviour displayed by multiple individuals is unacceptable and will not be tolerated by the club under any circumstances. There is no place for racism in our society, and we stand with Romain, who has our full support. The club is actively working with the relevant authorities and online platforms to identify those responsible, and we will take the strongest possible action available to us. These individuals do not represent Sunderland AFC, our values, our community, and they are not welcome on Wearside. Right? That's in the latest news section on SAF. I'm also subscribed to the SAF WhatsApp channel, so it came up on my notifications. And then, I mean, I'm also in a Black Cats chat as well, and it came up on there. And
it's weird
so
because
it's been flashing up on my phone.
I'm looking on the SunderlandFC.com news, and there's nothing. There's nothing at all. I don't understand.
So if you go to the SAF.com, the main page, and then on the right-hand side, you click the three dot, you click the hamburger menu, and you click news, right?
Right, news,
and then if you scroll down, all, and it's club statement, Romain Mundell.
No, that's weird.
Got it?
No, it just says season ticket renewal, a report.
No, it's below that. Below that.
Yeah.
You've got to scroll down to latest news.
Oh, yeah. I can. It's just popped up now. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Right.
Are you surprised by it's online abuse? That's what it is. It's not actually at the ground, apparently.
You know what
it's right, of course. Doesn't mean it's right.
Online abuse, in-person abuse, right? You know, it's just not right, because, to be honest, a lot of people don't have the bottle to do it in person, right?
Yeah, I'll just see if I can share that.
Brett, I'm just replying to Brett. Brett 8933. Malta has got no ambition, just happy to be in the Prem. We've done that for 10 years before without competing and went down anyway. Brett, you unfortunately do not know me at all, right? I was saying this during the Reed era, during the Keane era, that if we go out and spend a bit of money and buy a couple of players instead of Cabby's favourite player, Sean Cunnington, right? We finished 7th 2 seasons in a row. I don't know how long you've been following Sunderland, Brett, but I've been going to Sunderland matches since the 80s. And under Reed, when we had the 2 7th place finishes, the only reason we didn't get into Europe normally, if you lose the cup final, there would have been a UEFA Cup place would have been dropped down. But because Liverpool also had a bit of a rubbish season, we didn't get that UEFA Cup place or the Cup Winners' Cup place. So, yeah, no. My ambition was to get promoted, solidify this season, and I think my ambition matches that of Kira Louis-Dreyfus, that next year Sunderland need to be pushing to finish in a European place because it can be done. We don't need wholesale changes like has happened this season. We needed an entire team. We literally needed an entire team, right? We got the entire team in and done. And as I've said before, and I'll use the term again, compound interest, right? Anybody that we sign has got to be a starter. Anybody that we sign has got to be a starter, has got to be somebody who is better than somebody already at the club. That's what we've got to do. That's how we've got to focus on building, right? And if it takes 2 seasons or 3 seasons, I want us to get into Europe, man. This season, even this season, because the visitors are on 3 fronts, right? And their squad is thin, and then they're getting injuries. I mean, we got 2 injuries today in the first half, right? And then another one, Robbie got a bit of a knock, and then he came off. Sunderland is a historic, it's a rich historic club, right? 100 years ago, Sunderland were like the top team in the country. You know, league titles, FA Cup. You know, we were like a top draw side. You know, and Rob's not on. Otherwise, Rob would be able to tell you what it was like in those days. So honestly, I am dying to go to Milan away for a Sunderland match. You know, go on a Sunderland European tour. I'm sitting here in my front room and I'm looking at plaque, League Champions, the Sunderland FC 1913 European Tour, Hungary, Austria, Germany, right? Sunderland went on a tour after winning the league title in 1913. This was before, obviously, the Champions League and UEFA. And they went on a 3-country tour and played 13 matches and didn't lose any. You know, and they played the best sides of every one of those countries. They played like three teams from each of those sides, from each of those countries. So I do have ambition. Yardstick for this one was survival, Brett. But really, I wanted us to be pushing for top 10. You know, the signings that came in over the Christmas, the January window, was I overly impressed with them? I wasn't really. But players would have came to Sunderland. And the thing is, there was a changing of the guard with the whole Speakman to Gosolfi, right? And Speakman's 2 targets that he brought in were shipped out before he was shipped out. Right? That was Adingra and Masuaku. So
that's right.
So you know what it is? Let's walk before we can run in the Premier League. We know that. You know what it is? On our day, if all our players are fit and firing, we can go up against the best. We've did it against the potential league champions Arsenal at home and Man City at home and world champions Chelsea. We beat them in their own backyard. Current league champions, went at Anfield. And in my lifetime of all the matches I've seen at Anfield, that was our best performance. And if we'd had a better, the next level up striker from Isidore, we would have won that game. We definitely would have won the game if we'd had that next level striker. So for the summer, I'm expecting the club to bring in 5 players, right? 5 players who will all go straight into the first team, right? And upgrade us on Hume, upgrade us on O'Nien, upgrade us on Mayenda, upgrade us on Isidore,
Mundell,
and upgrade us on Mundell. They're the
what
5.
About Sirkin? You like Sirkin?
You know what it is? Sirkin as a squad player, but I don't see Sirkin as a. The thing is, Sirkin's just been hampered by injury, right? I'm not exactly sure whether Sirkin's level is starting in the Premier League every week. And if he's an understudy for Ronaldo, right, then that's fine. But again, to compete in the Premier League, you need to have a squad deep. You've got to have 22 Premier League standard players. We have got maybe 13 Premier League standard players, and then we've got Championship for the rest.
What do you reckon of Steve's comment there? Then he says, "Do you realise we could only be 5 points from relegation zone if we lose our next two?"
I was looking at the table on the way home, man. I wasn't getting jittery, right? But I was thinking, I'll take our 40 points first, right? Because
okay, so
all the bottom sides have got to play each other. We've got to play Forest again at home, right?
Yeah.
I think Wolves and Burnley are cut away, really, right? And I think we can finish on. To be honest, there's no reason why we can't finish on 50 points, right? There's no reason why we can't finish on 50 points, right? And if you look at how Villa did it, Villa got up, right? And then they upgraded their manager, they upgraded the players, and then within a couple of seasons, they got into the Champions League.
I mean, some fans have been saying as well, because I've been reading a lot of social medias as well. The fact, like, we're not mathematically safe yet. We could get relegated, and we're talking about recruitment for the Premier League next season. If we didn't watch ourselves, we could go down. If we go on this avalanche, just collapse, this massive collapse, because I don't fancy us getting anything away at Bournemouth. I think Leeds will they'll just strip tears the skin off us down at Ellen Road. If we have an attitude like we had today, they'll murder us.
We had Bundle missed what really he should have scored that goal. We had a referee who wasn't giving us anything in the game, right? And that penalty, I mean, that was right in front of us, right? And he was thinking first, I won't give that, right? That's what he was thinking, right? Steve, amazing starts and then relegated. We're not going to get relegated. But again, we've got to get our 40 points first, right? And then once we get our 40 points, and then we will look to build on top of that. Because Regis has said it from the very beginning, we need to get the 40 points first, right? I think what happened is the Everton game, when Kirill came on and did his interview, and he sort of threw Regis under the bus with I'm aiming for top 10, right? And that's not been Regis's message all season. It's not been anybody's message all season. The message is, we've got to be safe from relegation. Jack, I even said, I've never been in a side that's been fighting against relegation before. And I wanted a new challenge. So we've given him that new challenge, and he's sure he can do it. And I'm sure we will bring in 5 starters who will be challenging in all those positions up front. Angulo, I do like Angulo, right? I do like Angulo. He's got a bit of he's got fire in him, and he just needs a few more games to be really fully fit, right? I think Tabi might have been carrying an injury.
Did you see one of his corners today? It hit the side netting.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the opposite side, because I sit in the north stand, and that was the southwest corner. But yeah, I did see it, and it didn't even, it just went out and then back in.
And the other two didn't even clear the first player. And it's like in the Premier League, you've got, at least when you get a corner, at least whack it into the box. Do you know what I mean? And it's right what you're saying with Mundell missing this and that and the other. It's such fine lines. If you miss glitch open chances like that in the Premier League, you're going to lose, or you're not going to win games, because every team you play in the Premier League is quality opposition. Even if it's Wolves, you're playing a Premier League side, and if you don't put them chances away, then there's only one other outcome. What happened? They went up the other end of minutes later and scored. How long have we been saying this, though? We seem to have this problem of constantly missing cities in front of goal. It seems to be happening since the Ross Stewart days. Since we lost Ross Stewart, we just seem to be glitch-head chances. We're just waste. Gary Bennett's psychometer today on the commentary must have been about 80% out of 100 because every time we got excited and went forward, it was, it was like once we get to, it's like there's a wall around the 18-yard area. It's like once we get to that certain line, we're lost. We're stuck. It's like we don't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? And that's,
you know what it is? And I've been talking about this all season. You've got to be clinical. You've got to be clinical in the Premier League, and you've got to properly. You've got to take your chances, because if you don't take your chances, that's how you'll get relegated. If you don't take your chances.
He didn't even get that on target, Malta. I mean, he didn't even force a save from the keeper.
It was right in front of us, and it was about a yard wide of the post.
I mean, you think, what do they do in training? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I could miss things like that. Of course I can. You can. But a professional footballer, I mean, at least get it on target. I'm not saying a guarantee score, but at least hit it between the sticks, for heaven's sake. I don't know what they're doing in training. I really didn't. What do you think of a lot of fans as well also saying Regis just seems to be a one-half season. He seems to get found out, and then the second half of the season, it seems to be a pattern forming where we're just... we'll just fall to pieces. What do you think on that?
Yeah, well, you know what it is, right? I would say
we have seen the statement, Alex. Yeah, we have. It's just not been out.
Did we get carried away too early? A little bit, because of our start. Regis Lebris and our team did not get carried away. Have not got carried away, because they've always said that our goal is safety.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Regis Lebris has done a great job. You know, I think people are forgetting that he got us promoted. We were the underdogs at home against Coventry.
We were. And Sheffield United at the final.
Yeah. And Sheffield United, we were losing. Right? But he managed the game. He managed the matches. He managed the players. He did his little mini pre-season reset. And he got us over the line, and he got us promoted. And for that, I'll forever be grateful to him. You know.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what happens. But I want us to have a manager for 5, 6, 7 years. You know, I don't want us to be knee-jerky.
No. Because that can start getting messy. It can get messy, Malta, if we start doing that.
Because we did that. We went 10 years with 10 managers. Right? We did the 10 years with 10 managers. Right? And if you look at, like, clubs which have got stability, right? I'd say, like, obviously your Liverpool and your Arsenal, and they're the two clubs right now which managers know that they're going to go in there and they will get plenty of time to do what they need to do. Sir Alex Ferguson, when he went to Manchester United, he didn't win the title in his first season. In fact,
he was not far from getting the sack.
Well, they finished just above us. They finished in 13th or 14th.
Yeah.
Right? In the league. So you know what it is? We've been hit, unfortunately, by some bad injuries. Right?
Well, who was it? Was it Siddiqui that got injured today? Or was it Mukiele?
No, Mukiele, who'd had a hand injury, but then he got a bad tackle off that bloody Calvin Bassey. I tell you, I'll bloody find that Calvin Bassey, right? You know, and players, because they know that the referees are not protecting our players, right? The referees are not protecting them, and because they're not protecting them, that they can just get away with anything.
It's wrong though. I mean, but yet again, do you have to look at the Sunderland players as well? They need a bit of spunk. They need to sort of like not be abusive to the ref, but you've got the right to protest if you want something done with VAR. That's what it's there for. We're making an easy job for the ref on the pitch because we're not challenging. You know, they should have been surrounding that ref, screaming for that penalty against Liverpool and in the past. And
no, but again, you know what it is? That's not the way that Xhaka wants the side to be. You know what it is? we've got to take every bad decision. We've got to take every bad decision on the chin. And what you've got to do, you've got to elevate yourself to actually, do you know what? Even with all of the bad refereeing decisions, it's not going to be. That's not going to be the reason why we'll get into Europe, or why we will stay up, or why we will do anything, or why we could, we could still win the FA Cup, man. Come on, Sasha. Hey, we could still win the FA Cup, and we could still get into Europe because it's still dead tight. There's lots of clubs, right? Like we've still got 5, 6, 7, 8. There's still 8 Premier League clubs in Europe, and pretty much all of them look like they're going to be going through to the next phase, right? And so they're all going to be like, oh yeah, And I mean, look at Spurs. Spurs are tanking. Right? I mean, when they got that equaliser, and like all the Spurs fans were like, yeah, I'm going to win.
That's right. I watched that today.
I was like, that's just a temporary hiatus. Normal service will be resumed very quickly because Arsenal, they're going for a record 4th, 2nd place finish. Right? No sides ever finished 4th. I mean, 2nd 4 years in a row. But Arsenal will do it. Man City will get over the line as champions, and Arsenal will finish 2nd.
On today, do you think as well our weak spots once again is strength and depth, is not having that recognised striker. It's like we're on the bare bones of our backsides because let's face it, it's the time of the season where players get tired, injuries happen because it's coming to the end. It's end of the end of season. Do you know what I mean? Where players' bodies are getting tired, tendons are getting stretched, muscles are getting torn and torn.
It is all of that,
and it massively affects us, doesn't it? I mean, look, I'm going to disregard the Liverpool because I thought we should have got a point against Liverpool.
Well, if the referee had been away, we would have got a point against Liverpool.
Yeah, I know. And Arsenal, you can't really, it's Arsenal for heaven's sake. And people saying, "Oh, we're being bad. We've lost the last 3," but the last 2 games. I mean, you have to look at it. We should have lost that at Liverpool, and we're playing, nearly the champions of the Premier League. It's what do you say? I mean, Brett asks a question here. He says, "Would we not be better off playing 09 at left back as he can use his left foot instead of Hume?"
No, I do like Luke 09, but he is a championship player at best. To be honest, I've got great respect for him. Right, he came to our club and he's done a lot. Right, he's done a lot. But when I compare him to the rest of the side and to all of our options, right, Gertruda is always going to be ahead of him, right? Because Gertruda can play anywhere across the defence and midfield.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that he doesn't give effort. He does. He gives 110% all of the time. And he's really, though, he is what's the word? He's just the last resort. He is a last resort for. If we've got Gertruda fit, Gertruda would always be ahead of him for me. And he'd be ahead of any of the others. He'd be ahead of Sirkin as well. He's got to just. And Gertruda was all right when he came on. We played Sirkin left back rather than Hume, David. Yeah. Well, when Gertruda came on, I thought, is he going to switch him over, right? And but he didn't. David Graham. Yeah. I am from South Shields, and it'd be great to see South Shields get promoted.
Yeah, I would like to see Gateshead stay up. They've got to win at True Road, but there's still so many points cut adrift.
Can Gateshead avoid relegation? I don't like Gateshead because you know why? Their fans are sort of plastic Geordies. their fans are plastic Geordies, and whenever we go and play them, there's always like loads of daft Newcastle fans turn up as well.
You know, there is.
Uh-huh. And so I'm just like, I couldn't care if Gateshead went down or not, you know. But you know what? It was just one game. It's one game. You know, bad day in the office, right? This is the Premier League. You've got squads which have spent £2.5 billion being assembled, and we went there and we won.
Do you think it would have been a different state of affairs if Mundle had scored that?
It was literally 3 minutes before they scored. We had that opportunity, and
it's like the team's head went down a little bit. Do you think the heads dropped just slightly with that glorious chance missing? It was almost like a penalty miss, wasn't it? It was that close out.
It was honestly, it was right in front of us, man. I was like, nobody could believe how did he miss that. And then obviously these idiots who went onto social media and started giving him abuse and that, right? And they'll get their social media accounts banned. And some bloke did get some time for social media abuse as well. And I hope any of these and all of these racists who have abused him, they get shown up. If they're companies that they work for, are owned by a black person or a PLC, imagine if some bloke who's a manager somewhere, right, and he's been given Mundle the racist abuse online, and his company find out that, oh yeah, your employee on his personal social media went and gave this, and they've got a black CEO or a black member of the board, and the guy will be out of a job, man. And people don't look at the consequences, but that is the consequences that they just need to, there's no place in society for it,
And you can't say it's not been made aware of. Do you know what I mean? Where have you been? Are you just playing pig ignorant?
But the thing is though, I mean, this is not a politics what do you call it, show, so I won't get into it, right?
No, of course.
But over half of our side are black.
Yeah.
Right.
What the Premier League is.
So if you're giving racist abuse to Mundle, then you're giving racist abuse to the rest of our side, right? So it's
he was in tears at full time, Mundle.
I didn't blame him. Because you know why?
I don't know whether that was over racism, mind, or whether just because he was so devastated, he probably blames himself.
The club have come out and have said that if they identify anybody, they'll be oot on the ear. But there's no place for racism. I mean, the FA and the club used to use a picture of me and my cousin on the kick racism out of football. The red card campaign. There was a picture of me and Benno as well on that, and it's just Neanderthal behavior, to be honest. Anyway, Cabby, what do you think of the rest of the results this week in the Premier League? What's the table looking like? I've not even had a proper look to see how far we are. I know we're equal points on the visitors, but we've got a worse goal difference.
Right, I'll see if I can screen share this. I don't know how clear it will show up, but just give me a second. Don't you just hate it when you click on a page and then a pop-up comes up and then you end up clicking on an advertising thing and then you end up clicking on something else and it's like, how man.
That's why you should use the BBC website, Cabby. Because there's no adverts on there.
Right, I'm going to see if I can share the screen. Let's have a look. Don't know how clear. There we go.
All right, I can see that. Now it's clear.
Excuse me.
Right, so let's look from 8th downwards.
Yeah.
Right. So 8th is Bournemouth, who's our next game. and they're on 38 points.
I just don't
Right.
look. I just don't like the four L's, the four coloured reds from Sunderland. That's relegation format. That's worse than the bottom three. That
No,
is.
but us and the visitors have got the same form over
Yeah,
the
I
last
know. I
5
know.
games.
I was just looking above them as well. But yet
Right.
again, we're not expected to get anything against Liverpool or Arsenal. They weren't expected to get anything against Man City. And to stick up for
And
Newcastle, dare I say it, I
Fulham
thought
had
they
been,
played well against Man City
uh,
yesterday.
and Fulham had been on, what do you call it? We just broken their 3 defeats in a row record. So they'd lost 3 defeats in a row.
Yeah.
And, now
Look at
we have.
Spurs. Look at Spurs. 3 defeats on the trot. I
Uh-huh.
mean, we're saying, right? I mean, oh no, maybe you're not saying. I'm saying, and some other people are saying, you're off, Brett. Okay, mate. We'll catch you later, mate. You take it
See
easy.
you, right.
Where are we at? Me was saying like, yo, we're not safe yet. Mathematically, no, we're not. But could you imagine if a Spurs getting relegated? I mean,
That'd be great. That'd be absolutely fantastic.
4
Right.
points off West Ham.
To be honest, Spurs only stayed up last season, by a very small amount, right? Their league form was poor. They're on their, the third man dressed as Postecoglou.
Yeah, it was only because the bottom 3 last season were absolutely dire. That's
The bottom 3 were down by Christmas, right? See, for me, I want to see a London club go down, right? West Ham, I don't like West Ham. I've never been
I
a big
think
fan
they'll
of
stay up.
Bubbles,
Malta. I think
right?
they'll do it.
I've never been a big fan of Bubbles. Nottingham Forest, proper big club, back-to-back European Cups, right? My mom's brother's from Nottingham, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for Forest. I want to see Forest stay up, and I want to see either West Ham or Spurs go down, because they've both got big, massive stadiums, right? West Ham, they don't even own the London Stadium. They're in a 50-year lease, right? So they don't even get all of the actual the stuff from owning your own stadium. Like the match day revenue and stuff like that, right? Whereas Spurs have spent over $1 billion on their stadium, right? If they go down, Spurs aren't like a Sunderland where you're gonna still get 40,000 in the Championship. You're not gonna get 40,000 in the Spurs. Spurs and West Ham are not gonna get 40,000 in the Championship, right? Spurs might get it for. Oh, I'm just trying to think. Millwall, maybe. Yeah, I think Millwall's the only London derby game where I could imagine that'd be a full house, right? The rest of them, not so much. So let's just look at the table, right? If we beat Bournemouth, we go above them,
No, it's nuts.
right? So that's how tight the
Can you see
table
us
is.
beating Bournemouth the way we've been, or
I can. Do you know what it is, Cabby? I can. It's all about those
difficult place Bournemouth to go?
minuscules. Bournemouth is a very difficult place to go, right? All of those clubs. I mean, little crappy stadium as well, right? Little crappy stadium, but and they make it tough for sides to come there, right? It's just the same with us. We make it tough for sides to go to.
I mean, Leeds is Leeds the following Tuesday.
Yes, Leeds is the 3rd of March.
Can you see us getting anything down there?
I can see us getting a draw at Leeds.
Okay.
Because you know why? Leeds will play a championship game of football against her. Like, that's what Fulham were doing today. They were playing a championship game of football against her. But our players that were playing haven't played championship football. The majority of them hadn't played championship football, so they don't know how to do that, right? But yeah, that's what Leeds will do. They'll play a championship game of football, and we will compete. We'll compete, and I think it'll be a tight game, and it'll be 0-0.
Would you be concerned if we lost the next two?
Would I be concerned?
Mm-hmm. So like 5 defeats on the bounce if it did happen.
No, I still wouldn't be. I still wouldn't be concerned. But now that we've got Xhaka back,
Mm-hmm.
right, I don't think that's going to happen. I do not think that's going to happen because Xhaka immediately, not only is he give us a massive boost, he actually gives every other player an extra 10%.
It was just frustrating today, wasn't it? Because I believed when Lafay got that goal, I thought it could be another Brentford here when he got that penalty, and I think it made things worse us pulling a goal back because everybody's hopes were up. Everybody thought like we're going to go on and get a point here. I was expecting it, and it was just such a sucker punch. They went to bang 3-1. I thought, oh my god.
I was thinking that we could get back, but the thing is, you know, and again, you know, in the close season, we need more set piece coaches.
Yep.
We need more defensive coaches because defending on set pieces, we're conceded on a corner, we're conceded on a free kick. Right?
Yeah, I know.
And then on our corners, right? The first corner didn't even get near the first man.
And that's not good enough
for the Premier League. And third corners that we had didn't beat the first man.
Yeah, and that's not good enough in the top flight division. It's not schoolboy Route 1 stuff that we're not doing.
Well, they call Arsenal set piece FC, right? And that's just because Arsenal have got really good set piece coaches. That's why they're called set piece FC. And again, Arteta knows because he worked under Pep Guardiola, right? And Pep is like a great manager. And for Pep, it's all about bringing the extra 1%. Now, if you can score from long throws or you can score from corners and you can make it a habit, right? Then that gives you an edge over the other side. And because for years and years and years, and I'm talking going back since like Gordon Armstrong scored his header at the Roker, right? It's like Sunderland were rubbish. Teams would give us corners because it was just like, it's Sunderland, man. They're not going to do anything. Sunderland didn't have a clue.
Someone just asked a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
The form league, okay?
Oh yeah.
There we are. There's the current
league table
form there. Yeah.
No. Have you got the form league?
That's it. That's the form league. There we are.
That's the form league.
Yeah.
So we're in the bottom 3, aren't we?
There's
fourth
the bottom.
Okay, we're the 4th bottom.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
A bottom, believe it or not. And Newcastle, like they came on my stream today, out of the woodwork, laughing, finding it hilarious. They're actually below us in the form league. Is any of the bottom, say 5 or 6, 7 teams there surprised? Are you surprised where they are?
Hey, so Spurs is the only one that I'm surprised about. Right. And I'm surprised that our goal difference over the last 5 is actually better than the Mags'. So theirs is a -6,000, -5. Because in that one win, I think they win 3-0 or something against Burnley.
That's why I think West Ham will be safe. Excuse me.
So where
they're
7th league?
They're 7th in the form league.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's why I think.
But it's amazing. It's amazing what happens if you string 2 wins together, or even 2 wins in 3 games. You know,
if Sunderland get 2 more wins, I would put my hands up and say I think we're safe. 100%, I would say we're safe.
Yeah.
But it just seems a long way off getting 2 more wins the way we are. Just what I've been seeing.
See, Bournemouth, if you look at them right, in the last 5 games, they're unbeaten. Right? 4-8
Yeah.
against 4, right? 11 points. Draw, win, win, right? We need to give them a red L on them. West Ham have only lost 1. Villa lost 1. Everton lost 1.
Yeah.
Brentford. So then you got your 2s. See, Leeds have lost 1. They've only won 1, but they only lost 1 in their last
They've
5
drawn
as
a lot
well.
of games the last 3 months, Leeds. They've drawn a hell of a
Yeah.
lot.
Leeds do like a draw, like.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking it's going to be a 0-0 or 1-1 at Leeds. But Bournemouth, you know what it is? Now that Xhaka's back, right, I think it's going to be a statement of intent. He's going to say to them, right, lads, you know what? Forget about all this rubbish that he's been playing for the 6 games that I've missed, right? Because while he's been out, we've only won 1 game, which was at home against Burnley, right? We need to get back to winning ways. And we need to, because can you bring up the away form table? Because I think now Fulham have overtaken us in the away form table, and I think we're now second bottom in that away. Actually, in the whole season away table, it's on the fishy. If it's not on there, it'll be on the fishy. Do you ever use the fishy?
What? Never heard of it. What's that?
Oh, the fishy is the oracle of form tables, man.
Oh, is it? I've never even heard of it, Malta. Well, looking at the form thing, I mean, yeah, Fulham are above Sunderland. They have got 2 wins, where we have only got 1. We've got 4 losses. Fulham have got 3 losses. So yeah, they are above us. What are you on about with your away?
Away from home, we had the. I think we were 3rd worst in the table away from home, and Fulham was 2nd worst away from home. So now Fulham have won, then they have gone above us in that away table. But again,
do you think Isidore will be away? Do you think Isidore will be away in the summer with Mundell and Mienda?
Yeah, I think all 3 of them will be away.
I do as well.
And I think Isidore will go to the European side. I think Mundell might go to the Championship, to be honest. And Mienda, I could see Mienda going to like an Ipswich or somewhere.
If you were to sit on the fence, right, are they not Premier League players, or B, they're just not getting the service? Because this is what some of the fans also say.
Right? No, it's, you know what it is? You know, if you're a Premier League player,
yeah,
you will make opportunities and chances for yourself as well. It's like you see that Eze, Richie Eze. Did you watch the match today, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Right? Now, before today, he had only scored 4 goals, right?
That's right.
And
he always scores against Spurs, doesn't he?
Well, before today, he'd not even had a shot on target.
Yeah.
Right? He'd not even had a shot on target since the Spurs match when he scored a hat-trick. Right? So, and then what's he done? It's Spurs. It's only Spurs, he's thinking. All right, I'll be Spursy and I'll score a couple of goals. You know, and it's funny in a way, right? Because he's just thinking that, yeah, you know what? It's Spurs, man. I'll do them. Right? And he made those opportunities, you know, like he was there, right place, right time, you know, for his second.
Yeah.
he was there, right place, right time, and he took the opportunity that, right, yeah, I'm going to score here. And so good players will make and take opportunities. They'll make opportunities for themselves, and they'll take
Of course they do.
opportunities. And that's what the difference in the Premier League. It's not just the, it's not just the number one league in the world for nothing, right? It's the number one league in the world specifically for a reason, because it is difficult. That's why the big money gets paid for strikers who have got a Premier League caliber and a Premier League quality. And then you've got the teams from abroad who say, all right, well, if he can score goals in the Premier League, then I'll have him. How many players from the Premier League are going to be going to the World Cup?
Yep.
It's going to be loads.
Well, that's the end of the show. We have done the hour. Malta, thanks very much. Are you coming on the it's the Through Black and White Eyes tomorrow? We're on their patch tomorrow on the Monday night show. Geordie's versus Mackham's. He sent me a link, and I'll forward that link on to you as well.
Yeah. Aye. See, I don't mind going on their show when we've lost and they've lost.
Oh, did you go to the do yesterday?
The do wasn't yesterday. The do's on Friday next week.
Oh, sorry, Friday. Was it next week?
Aye, 27th.
Oh, I thought it was this weekend. I don't know.
I know, no, 27th.
We'll have a laugh on there. Like I say, we can both drown in our sorrows. But I mean, like I say, I watched the Newcastle game and I thought Newcastle really played well in the second half. I thought they made City hang on. They chased every ball.
What was the full time score?
2-1.
To
Man City.
Oh, so they lost.
They lost indeed, yeah.
The record books will only show, Cabby, the
scoreline. Yeah. The amount of Geordies that came on my stream today, honest to God, I'm thinking, like, do you realise what your score was? Oh, aye. And when we pulled the goal back 2-1, they're all vanished. And then they came back on again when we were 3-1. I think, oh, for God's sake, man.
Well, hey, you know what it is? It's just more, what do you call it? It's just more exposure for the show, man.
It is, it's mental.
Let them come on.
Oh, it is, aye. But anyway, Malta, thanks very much. I'll send you the link. And like I said, join us tomorrow on the Through Black and White Eyes, the Newcastle channel, as the Geordies v Markham show. We swap channels every Monday. And no doubt there'll be plenty to chew on there. So, Malta, thanks very much for giving up your time on a Sunday night.
Yeah. I just needed to get the stuff off my chest.
See you later.
See you.